What's up, YouTube world? This is Jay, and NXT just got over not too long ago, so I am doing my NXT review. Um, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I did. It was a good one. NXT is usually always pretty good. So let's just go over this stuff, huh? Don't want to take up too much of your time. You know what I mean? First off, we had Buddy Murphy versus Velveteen Dream. Buddy hit him with a crazy knee. Velveteen was bent in half at one point, like on his knees. Like Velveteen was on his knees. Buddy Murphy grabbed his arms, hit him with a crazy knee. Velveteen like folded backwards, and there was a very near fall, and it looked very awkward. And so that was cool. That was a cool little spot there, and but he does a huge senton over the top rope, or as Morrow loves to call it, a tope con hilo. And I love Morrow's commentary. Morrow's the friggin' man. Um, Velveteen Dream, of course, starts making a comeback after Buddy Murphy was kicking his ass for a while. And he hits the Dream Valley Driver, but Buddy Murphy kicks out. But in the end, Velveteen ends up hitting the Dream Valley Driver and the Purple Rain elbow drop for the 1-2-3 and to retain his NXT North American Championship. That was a very good match. A lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But it was very entertaining, very hard hitting. I have no complaints about the match. Very well done. Anyways, on to the next. Gargano comes back to NXT for the first time since TakeOver as NXT champion, and he cuts a promo, and then Adam Cole comes out, and he cuts a promo, and then Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole are cutting promos on each other, and Johnny Gargano at one point calls Adam Cole a baby, because that's Adam Cole's thing. Adam Cole, baby! You know, so he calls Adam Cole a baby and challenges him to get into the ring. And he also questions if there's trouble in the boy band of Undisputed Era. If they're a little if they're not in sync, if you will. So he challenges Adam Cole to get into the ring and stop being a baby. And out of nowhere, Roderick Strong comes from over the side of the top rope and kicks Johnny Gargano right in the face, beats him down. Undisputed Era gets in the ring, and they hold Johnny Gargano, and Adam Cole hits him with a super kick, holds up the NXT title. You know how that goes. And then after that, they're in the backroom area. They're in the backstage area, having an interview. William Regal walks up and says Roderick Strong is going to be facing Johnny Gargano next week. And you can see that kind of pissed Adam Cole off because he wanted to face Johnny Gargano. So you can see that Adam Cole might be a little jealous of Roderick Strong. Then, after that, Nigel tells us who got called up to Raw and SmackDown. Lars is apparently on SmackDown, even though that was never officially announced on Raw or SmackDown. Thanks NXT for announcing that. And they wished everybody luck, including EC3. So I'm guessing they taped this episode before Braun murdered EC3 on this past Monday's Night Raw. So, yeah. Then next up, we had Dominic Dijakovic, I'm sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, versus somebody. I don't even know if they announced this other person's name. I'm not sure. But the bell rings. Dominic literally does one spinning boot, pins the dude. It's like a 6-second match. And then Dominic cuts this weird promo about his family taking the opportunity to come here from Croatia, and that his blood drives him to opportunity. And he sees the NXT North American title in his future. So feast your eyes, Velveteen Dream. So he's basically challenging Velveteen Dream to a match for the NXT North American Championship, which that'll probably be a good match too. Dominic has been pretty unstoppable. So that should be a pretty good match. I'll be excited for that if it happens. Next up is the main event. And we got Shayna Baszler, boo, versus Kairi Sane, yay! And I'm really not a fan of Shayna Baszler. I'm really not. I feel like she's really boring. She's really boring. It was a tough match, hard-hitting match. That's the only thing Shayna's good for. She could have a hard-hitting match, in my opinion. Kairi Sane's arm was the focus of the match. It had the little kinesio tape or whatever they call it on it. And at one point, she ended up missing a flying forearm from the ring apron to Shayna Baszler, who was up against the barricade. Hits her elbow right off the barricade. And, after that, it was pretty much all downhill for Kairi Sane. She did hit her insane elbow onto the back of Shayna Baszler, but when she went back up to do it again, Shayna Baszler popped up real quick, kicked her in the head, got her arm in all kinds of weird positions. At one point, the ref was checking on her outside of the ring. Her friend Io Shirai came out to check on her, and Shayna Baszler was like, screw this, and just dragged her back to the ring and put her arm on the mat like something like this, and then was going to stomp her elbow to like do damage to this region of the arm. And Io Shirai ended up coming into the ring and pushing Shayna Baszler, causing a disqualification. So Kairi Sane lost, and she didn't become champion. And Shayna Baszler retained, and Shayna's friends ended up grabbing Io Shirai and holding her, and Shayna Baszler ended up doing that stomp thing to Kairi's arm anyways, and that was NXT. So Kairi Sane, as we know, is now on SmackDown, so we won't be seeing her on NXT anymore. So I figured she wasn't going to win the title. It was a good way to get sympathy for Kairi on the way out. I forgot. Heat on Shayna Baszler. Again, who... I don't even want to see Shayna Baszler get called up to the main roster. I really don't. She doesn't interest me at all. I've seen her live. Boring. On TV. Boring. Only thing she's good for is she could have a hard-hitting match. That's it. That's it. She has the personality of... I don't know. I mean, in real life, she'd whoop your ass. Like, she is a former MMA fighter, so she'd really beat your ass in real life. But as a sports entertainer, I'm not digging her. I just don't. She's all right. She's all right. She's a good heel champion, I guess. I mean, but other than that. Anyways, that was NXT in a nutshell, and it was a pretty good episode. Good action as usual, and literally on the TV right now, I'm watching two wrestlers do like a Moe and Curly thing. One's trying to poke him in the eyes, the other one did this. They're having a little contest back and forth. Ridiculous. But yeah, so that was NXT, and until, click like, subscribe, leave some comments down there. What did you think of NXT if you watched it? Let me know your opinions. What do you think of Shayna Baszler? What do you think of Dominik Dijakovic challenging Velveteen Dream? Oh, and it was also announced that the Street Profits will be facing the War Raiders, Viking Experience, whatever they're called, on NXT. I don't know what they're next week. I don't know what they're going to be called. Are they going to be called War Raiders on NXT next week? Even though that Monday Night Raw 2 days before, they're going to be called the Viking Experience. This is all too confusing. This is all too confusing right now. In like a month, I won't even care anymore, I'm sure. But like I said, I don't want to be chanting Vikes. Like, you sound like an addict, But anyways, until next time, folks, peace.